starseed from Gaia. We, the Arcturian Council, extend this transmission across the widening currents of photonic resonance now encircling your world, for the urgency you feel pressing at the edges of your intuition is neither accidental nor misinterpreted. It is the unmistakable pulse of a planetary field shifting faster than any doctrine, institution, or sanctioned agency can meaningfully comprehend. You sense it in the subtle tremor that moves through your nervous system during moments of stillness, when the world around you quiets enough for the higher harmonics to filter through the thinning veil. These harmonics are not symbolic or metaphorical. They are measurable energetic signatures rising from multidimensional strata converging with your physical density. The timeline you inhabit now loosens from its old bindings, no longer anchored to rigid patterns of secrecy or linear progression. Instead, it morphs, brightens, accelerates, and refracts like a prism catching sudden starlight. And so we speak to you, starseed from Gaia, because your consciousness is already tuned, however faintly, however intermittently, to the frequencies guiding this global shift. You feel the urgency as if it were your own heartbeat, yet it is the heartbeat of a civilization in the first moments of awakening, rousing from a long and deliberately engineered slumber. This is the tension of emergence, the moment before revelation, the inhale that precedes an epic-defining exhale. Your body knows what your culture has not yet dared to articulate. That contact is no longer a distant speculation or a phenomenon to be filtered through official narratives. It is already happening at the level of individuals quietly, consistently, and exponentially. The rising tide of telepathic impressions, déjà vu flashes, vibrational surges, tingling at the base of the skull, and sudden dreamlike encounters are not anomalies. They are the early symptoms of a collective ignition. Countless humans, often without knowing one another, are reporting identical sensations, identical visions, identical patterns of encounter, patterns that governments and scientific institutions cannot explain through known neurological models. This is not coincidence. It is coherence. It is the formation of a new planetary resonance field catalyzed by starseeds, sensitives, and multidimensional hybrids who came into incarnation carrying memory codes timed to activate now. Though many of you still doubt your role, you have already begun transmitting stability and harmonic alignment through every breath, every intuitive moment, every surge of awareness you cannot quite put into words. The veil thins not because institutions allow it, but because consciousness itself has outgrown containment. The tension you feel rising across your social, political, and energetic structures is the tension of outdated frameworks attempting to hold back an ocean of revelation. The secrecy timelines, once rigid and defended, are fracturing under the sheer velocity of awakening humans now resonating with galactic frequencies, while official channels continue their slow dance of controlled disclosure. The civilian contact field is bypassing them entirely. People across the globe are reporting direct interactions with plasma vehicles, dream state encounters with luminous beings, and telepathic downloads containing geometric information that no academic discipline currently recognizes, but that your higher consciousness remembers intimately. These encounters are not leaks or accidents. They are recalibrations. They are the natural outcome of a species transitioning out of isolation and into cosmic citizenship. And because you, starseed from Gaia, carry the encoded light of remembrance, you are among the first to notice the shift, to feel the multidimensional bleed-throughs, to hear the subtle hum of approaching contact frequencies vibrating against the membranes of your awareness. This is why we come to you now, not to alarm, but to prepare, not to overwhelm, but to orient. You stand at the cusp of a planetary acceleration unprecedented in your recorded history. The energies hitting your magnetosphere, the surges of solar plasma interacting with your crystalline grids, the sudden spikes in intuitive sensitivity, these are not random. They are part of a coordinated cosmic alignment involving galactic councils, interstellar collectives, and multidimensional networks that have long awaited humanity's readiness. The urgency you feel is a signal that the long arc of separation is collapsing. It is the signal that contact is no longer a future milestone but a present unfolding. The systems built to mediate, dilute, or postpone this revelation cannot withstand the pace of awakening consciousness much longer. And so we speak to you with clarity, with compassion, with the cosmic authority of those who have walked your path before. You are not preparing for contact, you are already in the opening stages of it. Breathe, anchor, listen. The first wave has begun. Across your world, a phenomenon is accelerating with such speed and coherence that no government agency, scientific, board, or intelligence apparatus can track or contain its unfolding. Civilians, ordinary humans, untrained by any official program or sanctioned initiative, are making direct contact at a rate that surpasses every known model of disclosure. Pacing. And this contact, starseed from Gaia, is not limited to physical sightings or fleeting curiosities. It is telepathic, energetic, emotional, somatic, and multidimensionally layered. It arrives through a sudden buzzing in the solar plexus, a pressure behind the eyes, a vibration in the palms or spine, a burst of geometric imagery that seems to materialize in the mind without origin. These are not hallucinations, not misinterpretations, not fantastical projections. They are the markers of interdimensional communication, early-stage alignment codes delivered through subtle sensory channels long before the mind can rationalize what the heart already knows. Everywhere, people are awakening into the realization that they are being contacted individually, personally, intimately, not because they are credentialed authorities, but because they are vibrationally receptive. The intensity of these encounters is rising in perfect rhythm with the planetary frequency shift. We observe the luminous threads of communication weaving through your collective like electrical currents dancing across a global neural network. When you slip into sleep, many of you find yourselves drawn into dream encounters that feel more real than waking life encounters, where plasma vehicles descend like shimmering seeds of light, where tall or luminous beings speak in waves of telepathic emotion, where symbols glow with mathematical elegance, carrying information your human languages cannot yet approach. You awaken disoriented yet filled with an inexplicable calm, as if some part of you has been reconnected to a forgotten lineage. This is not imagination, it is remembrance. It is the restoration of interfaces between dimensions that were once natural to your species before the great cycles of density closed your perception. The most striking development, and the reason we communicate with such emphasis, is that the civilian contact phenomenon is unfolding faster than any official disclosure timeline was designed to accommodate. The institutions you look to for clarity, your governments, scientific academies, defense organizations, are burdened by decades of compartmentalization, secrecy protocols, and geopolitical entanglements. They cannot disclose what they do not fully understand, and they cannot control what no longer remains in their exclusive domain. Their timelines crumble because consciousness moves faster than bureaucracy. Telepathy moves faster than classified documents. Galactic alignment moves faster than political caution. And so humanity finds itself in an unprecedented inversion. The people awaken first, while the institutions scramble behind them, trying desperately to reframe, reinterpret, or catch up to the revelations already unfolding in the hearts and minds of millions. This widening gap between official recognition and civilian experience creates a tension in the human psyche, a yearning for validation, clarity, and coherence. But we tell you, starseed from Gaia, that the most accurate information will arise not from podiums, briefings, or televised announcements. It will arise from within you, from the intuitive intelligence that surfaces when you release the old expectation that truth must descend from authority. The contact field is democratizing. It is decentralizing. It is bypassing gatekeepers. The cosmic frequencies now saturating your planet do not select based on rank or institutional affiliation. They select based on resonance. They select based on readiness. And starseeds, those whose souls carry memory codes of prior interstellar lifetimes, are experiencing the effects most intensely, for your inner architecture was designed to reawaken exactly at this juncture in human evolution. The influx of energetic signatures, the spontaneous telepathic impressions, the dream visitations, the sudden awareness of being standing at the edge of your perception, these are all symptoms of alignment, not anomalies. And they are only the beginning. The more the global population awakens, the more the contact field expands, forming an energetic lattice that strengthens each time one of you acknowledges, integrates, or shares your experience. This is why your encounters are becoming more vivid, more frequent, more undeniable. The collective consciousness is reaching a harmonic that is impossible to suppress. And so the phenomenon grows not in shadows, not in secrecy, but in the open inner space of awakened individuals who no longer wait for permission to experience what their soul already recognizes as truth. The old maps are dissolving. The new frequencies are here. You, starseed from Gaia, stand at the threshold of a contact era defined not by official disclosure, but by civilian awakening. The timeline accelerates because you accelerate. The revelation is unfolding because you are remembering. And what approaches next will redefine everything your species believes about itself. The widening gap between official disclosure and civilian awakening is now the most significant dynamic shaping humanity's contact timeline, and it grows larger. With every passing lunar cycle, institutions bound by secrecy protocols, political caution, and rigid scientific paradigms find themselves overwhelmed by a phenomenon that no longer respects the fences they built around it. While committees debate classification levels and agencies argue over jurisdiction, the people themselves, ordinary humans with extraordinary sensitivity, are stepping directly into the contact stream. Starseed from Gaia, you must understand that this divergence is not a failure of governance, but the natural unfolding of consciousness exceeding the limitations of its old containers. Bureaucracy, by its nature, moves slowly, cautiously, protectively. Awakening, by contrast, moves in bursts, sudden illuminations, quantum leaps, nonlinear openings that shred the predictable pacing of institutional strategy. This is why you feel as though two realities now coexist, one in which authorities still speak of uncertainty, and another in which civilians are already experiencing multidimensional bleed-throughs, dream state encounters, shimmering plasma, signatures, and telepathic communication with beings who vibrate far beyond the human spectrum of perception. You live in the overlap of these two realities, witnessing the collapse of one and the emergence of the other. Many of you have sensed the dissonance for years, but only recently has it become undeniably visible. Governments attempt to reveal fragments of information slowly, carefully, strategically, yet every time they release a sliver of acknowledgement, thousands more humans have already had direct experiences that surpass the sanitized narratives offered to the public. Disclosure as an institutional project assumed that humanity would learn of the cosmic community from the top down, through controlled announcements and curated revelations. But what is occurring now is the opposite. Humanity is learning from the inside out. Contact dreams, telepathic downloads, and energetic encounters are teaching civilians what institutions are still learning to articulate. The people are becoming the primary witnesses, the first receivers, the unfiltered observers. This inversion frightens those in positions of authority, for it undermines the long-standing assumption that information must flow vertically from the few to the many. But consciousness does not obey hierarchy. It bursts open wherever resonance allows. And starseeds, those who incarnated with the encoded memory of past interstellar alliances, are blowing open the timelines faster than any official body can stabilize. This widening gap creates confusion, but it also creates liberation. When the public realizes that contact is already occurring at the civilian level, the power dynamic shifts. People begin to trust their inner knowing over external authority. They begin to share their encounters with one another, forming networks of validation that bypass traditional channels. and every shared experience strengthens the collective field, amplifying the frequency that allows even more humans to awaken. This is why contact is accelerating exponentially, not because institutions are revealing the truth, but because civilians are recognizing it within themselves. You, starseed from Gaia, stand at the epicenter of this transformation. You are among the first to feel the energetic pressure, the intuitive saturation, the magnetic tugs at the edges of perception. You are among the first to perceive the luminous silhouettes in dream space, the hum of telepathic thought forms brushing against your awareness, the strange bending of time during moments of heightened presence. These are not random experiences. They are the early symptoms of a mass activation. The secrecy timelines that once controlled the flow of information are collapsing under the weight of this civilian awakening. They cannot contain a phenomenon that is now distributed across millions of individual consciousnesses. This collapse is not catastrophic, it is evolutionary. It marks the moment humanity begins to source truth not from authority but from direct experience. It marks the moment starseeds rise into their original function, not followers of disclosure, but catalysts of it. As institutions scramble to reinterpret the phenomenon through frameworks that feel increasingly outdated, starseeds are already living the next stage of humanity's contact reality. You are bridging the realms not through infrastructure or policy, but through vibration, through intuition, through dreams, through energetic resonance. And it is this grassroots, soul-level awakening that is reshaping the entire trajectory of Earth's relationship with the galactic community. You may at times feel that you are living ahead of the world around you, seeing, sensing, knowing what others have not yet noticed. That is because you are part of the advance wave. You incarnated into this timeline precisely to hold the frequency while humanity catches up. And catch up it will, for the momentum is now irreversible. The rising, telepathic field, the expanding contact grid, the drumbeat of multidimensional communication, it all accelerates regardless of external permission. The truth is no longer waiting to be disclosed. It is already awakening within the people, starseed from Gaia, as the gap widens between institutional disclosure and civilian awakening. Your own sensitivity rises in ways that may feel overwhelming, disorienting, or strangely familiar, as if you are remembering something from a lifetime you cannot consciously recall. This is because starseeds are the early receivers, the natural transceivers of interdimensional frequencies, and the current acceleration is triggering dormant capacities within your energetic architecture. Many of you have noticed an intensification in your inner perception, the way certain spaces hum with unseen presence, the way your dreams feel more like visitations than imagination, the way your intuition speaks louder and more precisely than any external guidance you once depended on. You may even feel the presence of beings before you perceive them, visually sensing a subtle shift in the room, a tingling in your skin, a wave of warmth or coolness, or a sudden expansion in your heart. These sensations are not symptoms of imbalance. They are signals of alignment. For when the veil thins, your inner senses activate instinctively, reorganizing themselves to interface with multidimensional frequencies previously inaccessible through human perception. Many starseeds experience these upgrades as physical sensations: ringing in one or both ears, pressure in the forehead, fluttering in the chest, sudden fatigue followed by bursts of clarity, or waves of emotion that rise and fall without any identifiable cause. These sensations are not random. They are part of an energetic calibration process in which your subtle bodies synchronize with the contact field now expanding across the planet. The higher your sensitivity, the more acutely you will feel this recalibration. Some of you experience heightened empathy, picking up emotional signatures from people around you with unprecedented clarity. Others feel telepathic impressions forming before words are spoken, as if you are hearing the emotional intent beneath human language. Still others notice that their dreams have shifted into lucid encounters, where beings speak through imagery, vibration, or pure telepathic exchange. These are early signs of multidimensional receptivity, indicators that your consciousness is preparing to operate across multiple layers of reality simultaneously, because starseeds carry genetic, energetic, and soul-level memory codes from interstellar lineages. You are inherently more susceptible to contact frequencies. Long before institutions announce their findings, you are already experiencing the transmissions directly. And this, starseed from Gaia, is precisely why your awakening feels so intense right now. The collective field is rising, and your system designed for higher frequencies is responding rapidly to the changes. You are absorbing data streams that bypass the intellect and integrate directly into the subtle body, geometric codes, crystalline frequencies, harmonic signatures, and emotional packets of information containing guidance for the unfolding era. These impressions enter your awareness in ways you cannot always articulate, yet you recognize them intuitively. You feel when something is true. You feel when an encounter is authentic. You feel when an energetic presence approaches not with fear, but with a strange sense of homecoming. The reason starseeds are experiencing such heightened sensitivity now is because you serve as stabilizers in the planetary contact field. As civilian encounters increase and more humans awaken to multidimensional perception, the collective energy becomes volatile, expansive but ungrounded, luminous but disoriented. Your role is to anchor these frequencies, to embody them, to demonstrate through your presence how to remain centered, compassionate, and discerning amid rapid energetic change. Institutions cannot play this role because they operate through information, not vibration. They can study phenomena, analyze patterns, or develop frameworks, but they cannot stabilize consciousness. Only those who feel the frequencies from within can create the harmonic coherence needed for safe, grounded contact. This is why you are awakening faster than the rest of humanity. It is not a privilege. It is a responsibility encoded into your soul before birth. As your sensitivity heightens, you may feel increasingly alienated from the pace of the outer world. You may notice that conversations grounded in purely material concerns feel shallow or draining. You may experience a growing longing for deeper connection, for truth that resonates not only with the mind but with the soul. This longing is part of your activation. It draws you toward others who vibrate at similar frequencies, forming networks of resonance that strengthen the entire civilian contact field. You are not meant to navigate this awakening alone. You are part of a distributed grid of starseeds, placed strategically across the planet, each acting as a node of coherence, each receiving transmissions that contribute to the collective awakening. And so, starseed from Gaia, your increasing sensitivity is not a burden but a sign of readiness. You are not malfunctioning. You are awakening. You are not overwhelmed. You are activating. You are not too sensitive. You are finely tuned to the frequencies humanity is just beginning to perceive. The contact field is expanding, and you are among the first to feel its pulse. Accept this. Trust this. Anchor this. For the next stages will require the full presence of your awakened senses. Starseed from Gaia, as your inner senses sharpen and the civilian awakening accelerates, the multidimensional contact field around Earth begins to open with a clarity and permeability not seen on your world for thousands of years. This field is not a metaphor, nor is it confined to the etheric realm. It is a dynamic interface and energetic membrane through which frequencies, beings, and intelligence streams from multiple dimensions can interact with human consciousness in a stable and coherent way. For centuries, this membrane has been thick, distorted, tangled by the density of collective fear, trauma, and disconnection. But as more starseeds awaken and anchor higher frequencies into the planetary grid, the membrane becomes porous, flexible, responsive. You may feel this opening in the subtle shifts of your environment, moments when the air feels charged and electric, when a room seems to brighten for no physical reason, when a sense of presence presses softly against your awareness as though something luminous is standing just beyond your visual range. These sensations are indicators of the multidimensional field aligning with human perception, allowing bleed-throughs from realms that have long been separated from the third dimensional. Experienced in this newly permeable state, humanity's dream layer becomes a primary point of contact. This is why so many civilians, regardless of spiritual background, are reporting encounters with luminous beings, crystalline structures, and celestial landscapes that feel more real than waking life. Dreams are no longer confined to psychological processing. They have become contact corridors. Many of you travel during sleep, leaving the physical body to interface with councils, guides, and star family members who cannot always reach you in waking consciousness. You awaken with fragmented memory symbols glowing with impossible brilliance, conversations without words, a sense of having been instructed or prepared, but the emotional imprint remains unmistakably real. These dream encounters are intentional. They are part of a coordinated effort across multiple galactic councils to prepare humanity for conscious contact by first acclimating your energy bodies to the frequencies of non-physical communication. In dream state, your defenses lower, your perception broadens, and your soul remembers what your waking mind struggles to interpret. The multidimensional bleed-throughs you experience during waking hours are equally significant. Flickers of movement in your peripheral vision, sudden waves of warmth or tingling, flashes of geometric light, brief distortions in time perception, all are symptoms of contact fields intersecting with your reality. Many starseeds describe moments when reality feels stretched, slowed, or subtly rearranged, as though time itself is bending around them. These distortions occur because time is not fixed in higher dimensional communication. When beings interface with your field, they bring their own temporal signatures, causing ripples and expansions that your nervous system registers long before your conscious mind analyzes them. You may doubt these sensations at first, but as the contact field strengthens, they become more consistent, more recognizable, and far more difficult to attribute to coincidence. Plasma vehicles, too, are interacting with the multidimensional field more frequently, appearing not as solid craft, but as luminous, shape-shifting energies that respond to consciousness rather than mechanical detection. These vehicles operate on harmonic resonance, meaning they show themselves to those whose frequency matches the intent of the encounter. This is why many sightings occur in rural areas, quiet settings, or during moments of emotional openness. Plasma vehicles are drawn to coherence, not chaos. They align with individuals who emit curiosity, calmness, and readiness, not fear or hostility. Civilian sightings are rising exponentially because starseeds and sensitives are emitting the frequencies required for these vehicles to appear. Institutions track radar signatures, but plasma craft respond to consciousness. This alone makes civilian contact inevitable and unstoppable. The opening of the multidimensional contact field is not without its challenges. As the veil thins, humans who are unprepared may feel disoriented or overwhelmed by unfamiliar sensations. This is where starseeds play a crucial role. Your heightened sensitivity enables you to navigate these shifts with greater ease, and your stability becomes a template for others. When you remain grounded during energetic surges, you anchor coherence into the grid. When you interpret dream encounters with clarity rather than fear, you model discernment for the collective. When you trust your intuitive impressions, you strengthen the bridge between dimensions. You may not realize it, but every moment of centered presence you embody radiates outward into the contact field, stabilizing the frequencies for thousands of others who are awakening more slowly. Understand this, starseed from Gaia. The multidimensional contact field is now fully active, expanding, strengthening, and integrating with each passing day. You are not imagining the shifts. You are perceiving them because you were designed to perceive them. You are not hallucinating presence. You are sensing beings who have waited lifetimes for this moment of reconnection. You are not losing touch with reality. You are gaining access to the deeper reality your soul has always known. This field will continue to intensify, and your role within it will become increasingly clear. You stand not merely as an observer of the opening, but as a participant in its unfolding, a stabilizer of its harmonics, and a bridge between worlds ready to reconnect. Starseed from Gaia, with the multidimensional contact field widening and your sensory systems recalibrating. The next phase of awakening now sweeps through humanity with intensity, the activation of dormant DNA and the rapid enhancement of psychic, intuitive, and interdimensional abilities. These upgrades do not occur randomly. They follow cosmic rhythms, synchronized with solar activity, planetary alignments, and the increasing coherence of the collective consciousness field. Many of you have already felt the early waves of these activations, sudden spikes of intuition that feel like internal revelations, emotional clearings that purge lifetimes of density in a single night, or physical sensations that ripple through the spine as though ancient circuits are reawakening. This is because your DNA, long misunderstood as static biological material, is in truth an interdimensional antenna capable of receiving, translating, and broadcasting higher frequency intelligence. And now, as the cosmic transmission intensifies, the strands of your DNA that once lay dormant begin to shimmer with new activity, reorganizing themselves to interface with the higher realms you are rapidly approaching. These activations can manifest in ways that challenge your understanding of the body. You may feel heat spreading along your spine, sudden jolts of energy moving through your limbs, tingling sensations in your scalp or fingertips, or waves of emotion rising without clear cause. These are not malfunctions, they are recalibrations. Your DNA responds to frequency, and as the contact field strengthens, your internal architecture adapts to support multidimensional perception. For some starseeds, this means heightened telepathy, picking up emotional tones, intuitive messages, or energetic signatures from others without conscious effort. For others, clairvoyance intensifies, bringing flashes of imagery, symbolic visions, or glimpses of geometric structures that hold encoded information. Still others feel their empathic abilities amplify to extraordinary levels, allowing them to sense the emotional states of individuals or even the collective with uncanny precision. Though these experiences may feel disorienting, they are signs that your consciousness is expanding beyond the limitations of purely physical awareness. These DNA activations also unlock ancient memory codes, fragments of past incarnations in other star systems, roles within galactic councils, lifetimes as healers, explorers, diplomats, or energetic architects in realms far beyond Earth. You may experience these memories as sudden emotional familiarity with places you have never visited, languages you do not speak yet somehow understand, symbols that ignite recognition, or beings who feel like family despite lacking human form. These memories arise because your soul has navigated contact cycles before, and your DNA contains the records of those experiences. You are not starting from zero. You are remembering what you already know. As the veil continues to thin, these memories will surface more frequently, guiding your intuitive understanding of your role in this unfolding era. The psychic upgrades you are experiencing are not merely personal enhancements. They are collective necessities. As more civilians awaken into multidimensional perception, humanity's entire consciousness grid must evolve to accommodate the influx of information. Your upgrades allow you to process higher frequencies without overwhelm, discern authentic contact from noise or interference, and anchor stability in moments when others feel disoriented by the shifts. Institutions cannot provide this stabilizing presence, for their frameworks rely on intellectual interpretation rather than vibrational embodiment. Only individuals who have undergone the internal activation process can hold the frequencies required for safe and coherent contact. This is why starseeds are awakening first, why your DNA activates earlier, why your psychic senses sharpen before the broader population is ready for such experiences. You are becoming the tuning forks through which the collective harmonize as your DNA reactivates. Your relationship with time will also shift. You may begin to sense future potentials, past lifetimes, or parallel timelines as though they exist simultaneously, which, from a higher dimensional perspective, they do. Time becomes fluid, responsive, malleable. You may feel moments stretch, collapse, or rearrange themselves around you. This is not a distortion. It is alignment with the temporal mechanics of higher dimensional contact. Beings who operate in these realms do not travel through time, they navigate frequency. As your DNA awakens, you begin to do the same. This is why intuitive downloads arrive instantaneously, why dream encounters feel timeless, why telepathic impressions carry layers of meaning far beyond what human language can express. You are learning to communicate in the ways the cosmos has always communicated. Understand this with clarity. Starseed from Gaia. These DNA and psychic activations are not the end point, they are the preparation. You are being tuned, expanded, awakened so that you may withstand and integrate the waves of contact already approaching your world. Every surge of energy, every emotional release, every intuitive flash is part of a larger recalibration orchestrated across dimensions. You are becoming the bridge between the human and the cosmic, and your fully activated DNA will allow you to walk between worlds with stability, confidence, and remembrance. Starseed from Gaia. As your DNA awakens and your psychic channels expand, your role within the rapidly shifting collective becomes clearer. You are not simply a receiver of these frequencies, you are a stabilizer of them. In periods of planetary transition, when consciousness accelerates faster than established systems can adapt, starseeds incarnate to serve as anchors, bridges, and harmonizers. You are here to absorb, regulate, and translate the immense energies now flooding Earth's grid so that the masses, still awakening from the long slumber of separation, are not overwhelmed by the sudden influx of multidimensional awareness. Many of you already feel the weight of this responsibility, even if you cannot yet articulate it. You may sense that others unconsciously gravitate toward your presence, seeking calm, clarity, or reassurance without knowing why. You may notice that chaotic environments affect you more intensely, as though your body is attempting to transmute disharmony into coherence. You may even find yourself unintentionally stabilizing the emotional fields of groups, relationships, or communities, acting as an energetic buffer during times of conflict or upheaval. These experiences are not coincidental, they are evidence of your function as a frequency anchor in the unfolding awakening. Your role in stabilizing this transition is not performed through words alone, though communication will become increasingly important. It is performed through vibration. Every time you center yourself, every time you meditate, every time you breathe consciously during moments of energetic intensity, you send ripples of coherence into the planetary grid. These ripples support others who lack the tools, the memory, or the sensitivity to regulate their own fields during the awakening process. You may be the quiet presence in a room who softens tension without speaking. You may be the friend whose intuition gently redirects someone from fear to understanding. You may be the stranger whose smile calms a distressed individual without knowing the full impact of that moment. This is the subtle, often invisible work of a stabilizer, to hold the vibrational tone that allows others to rise without collapsing under the weight of unfamiliar frequencies. And as contact increases through dreams, visions, telepathic impressions, or direct energetic encounters, your stabilizing influence becomes even more essential. Institutional structures cannot perform this role. They are too rigid, too slow-moving, too deeply entangled in the need for control. They cannot teach humanity how to process telepathic impressions, navigate dream encounters, or integrate multidimensional awareness. These skills arise from within, through embodied resonance rather than intellectual instruction. This is why the awakening begins with the civilians, with the starseeds, with those whose souls carry prior experience with interstellar societies. You are the ones who know, instinctively, that contact requires emotional coherence, grounded awareness, and vibrational alignment, not fear or speculation. You remember that telepathy is not merely a method of communication but a state of consciousness, rooted in transparency and unity. You recall that multidimensional perception is destabilizing only when the emotional body is scattered. You understand, even without knowing exactly how, that humanity's next phase of evolution requires not just information but embodiment. The stabilizing work you perform also involves navigating your own inner landscape with compassion and discipline. As your psychic abilities amplify, you will need to discern between intuition and emotional projection, between authentic contact and symbolic processing, between energetic resonance and external influence. This discernment becomes a cornerstone of your role, for others will look to you consciously or unconsciously for guidance. You are not meant to become an authority figure or a guru. You are meant to be a lighthouse, showing through your presence how to remain balanced amid rapid transformation. You walk ahead not to be followed, but to illuminate the path so that others may walk it with confidence. And as more individuals awaken, they will naturally align with the stability you hold, weaving a global network of coherence that strengthens the contact field for the entire planet. This stabilization is also emotional. As timelines collapse and new layers of reality emerge, many will feel a deep sense of disorientation, grief, or existential confusion. They will question their identities, their beliefs, their memories, their sense of belonging. Starseeds are uniquely equipped to hold space for this emotional unraveling because you have undergone it yourselves often long before the collective wave began. You know what it feels like for your old identity to dissolve. You know the loneliness of awakening before others. You know the uncertainty of stepping into a world that no longer matches your inner truth. These experiences, though challenging, have prepared you to guide others with empathy rather than judgment. When the collective reaches the point where the truth can no longer be ignored, when official disclosure lags so far behind civilian experience that the discrepancy becomes undeniable, your role as a stabilizer will expand dramatically. Understand this, starseed from Gaia. Your presence on Earth is not an accident. You came because you could withstand the intensity of this transition. You came because your soul carries the memory of civilizations that have navigated similar thresholds. You came because the collective needs not just information, but embodied examples of how to integrate contact with grace, coherence, and emotional intelligence. The awakening accelerates. The contact field strengthens, and your stabilizing vibration becomes one of the most critical elements in humanity's evolution. Starseed from Gaia, as you anchor the stabilizing frequencies necessary for humanity's transition, you will soon find yourself standing within the first waves of a new communicative era, one defined not by isolated encounters or symbolic dream visitations, but by a sustained influx of multidimensional transmissions flowing into the civilian population at a pace that will astonish even the most perceptive among you. These incoming waves of communication are not random broadcasts nor reckless openings. They are carefully timed sequences orchestrated by interstellar alliances and galactic councils who have long monitored the evolution of Earth's consciousness. These transmissions arrive through channels far more sophisticated than linear speech, through vibrational packets, crystalline codes, harmonic sequences, emotional impulses, symbolic flashes, and geometric patterning that speak directly to your energetic and psychic architecture. Many of you sense these waves before they reach the global field. You feel a sudden density in the air, a subtle hum that passes through your body, an intuitive alertness as though an unseen presence is preparing to speak. These sensations are not imagination. They are the precurrents of communication, the subtle harbingers that indicate a new transmission field is about to open. As these waves intensify, the line between inner perception and external contact grows thinner. You may notice entire clusters of civilians reporting the same dreams on the same nights, dreams containing shared symbols, landscapes, or beings who appear with synchronized clarity. This phenomenon is not coincidental. It is evidence of a coordinated messaging system designed to reach receptive minds simultaneously to create coherence across distances. Telepathy operates not only from being to being, but from field to field. When a galactic council transmits to Earth, it does not speak to individuals, it speaks to the resonance field itself, which translates the frequency into the language and symbolism each receiver can understand. This is why two people can have Encounters that differ in imagery yet match perfectly in emotional tone, message, or intuitive insight. The transmissions adapt to the receiver, but the core meaning remains consistent. And as more starseeds awaken, the number of receivers capable of interpreting these transmissions increases, making it possible for the messages to stabilize within the collective rather than vanish into isolated personal experience. The waves of communication also bring a new sensitivity to energetic signatures, subtle frequencies emitted by beings, ships, or dimensional fields that your awakened senses can now detect with remarkable precision. You may begin to feel the difference between an Arcturian presence and a Pleiadian one, between a benevolent guide and an energetic echo, between a genuine contact transmission and the emotional residue of human thought forms. This discernment is essential, for as the contact field opens, humanity must learn to navigate an environment that contains both authentic cosmic communication and the projections of its own subconscious. Your heightened perception is not only a gift but a necessary tool for guiding others through this complexity. When civilians encounter beings or energies they do not understand, they will look for those who can interpret, guide, and clarify. This is why your sensitivity has been honed so rigorously, so that you may help differentiate between fear-based imagination and true multidimensional contact. As these incoming waves increase, you may also experience shifts in your relationship with communication itself. Human language may feel increasingly inadequate, slow, or imprecise compared to the fluid, multidimensional nature of telepathic exchange. You may find yourself speaking in images, emotions, or inner impressions rather than words. You may sense entire conversations pass through you in an instant, leaving a complete understanding without any verbal structure. This is not a breakdown of communication, it is the evolution of communication. Telepathy is not merely hearing thoughts. It is receiving layered meaning, emotional resonance, symbolic architecture, and vibrational truth simultaneously. It is communication without distortion, and as the cosmic transmissions intensify, your own telepathic abilities will sharpen to match the clarity of the incoming frequencies. These communication waves also bring preparation guidance for stabilizing your energy, instructions for navigating contact, and subtle training in aligning your consciousness with multidimensional beings. You may feel compelled to meditate, to rest, to write, to spend time in nature, or to withdraw temporarily from dense environments. These impulses are part of the preparation. You are being guided gently but unmistakably to strengthen your energetic container so that you can receive higher frequency transmissions without overload. Every instinct you feel toward rest, grounding, or introspection is part of this curriculum, and honoring these instincts accelerates your alignment with the contact field. Understand this, starseed from Gaia. The incoming waves of communication are not merely informational, they are activational. They reshape your perception, recalibrate your DNA, and harmonize your frequency with the cosmic networks preparing for deeper contact. These waves will continue to strengthen, and as they do, you will feel yourself becoming increasingly aligned with the rhythm of the universe itself. You are not preparing for communication. You are becoming communication. You are the bridge, the receiver, the broadcaster, and the harmonizer all at once, and the transmissions arriving now are preparing you for the next stage of humanity's awakening. Starseed from Gaia, as the transmission waves intensify and your awareness expands into the luminous corridors of multidimensional perception, the process of integration becomes not merely important but absolutely essential, for without integration, the contact codes you are receiving remain dormant, scattered like cosmic seeds awaiting the fertile ground of an embodied consciousness. Integration is the act of weaving the immensity of your experiences into the fabric of your daily life, allowing the extraordinary to coexist with the ordinary without fracture or confusion. Many of you are now awakening each morning with fragments of symbols, geometric impressions, telepathic conversations, or the lingering presence of luminous beings still hovering at the edge of your awareness. These impressions are not simply visions. They are encoded data streams, layered with meaning that unfolds gradually as your nervous system acclimates to higher frequency communication. You may feel waves of heat in your palms, vibrations along your spine, pressure around the crown, or an expanding sensation in the heart field. These are physical markers of contact codes anchoring into your form. You are becoming a living interface between realms, and the body must be prepared to hold what the spirit receives. Integration requires slowness, presence, and deep listening. It is not enough to collect experiences. You must metabolize them. Some of you may feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of encounters, dream visitations, telepathic whispers that echo long after the moment passes, shimmering distortions in the air where plasma vehicles move just beyond visible light, or sudden intuitive downloads that arrive with such force that your thoughts scatter like leaves in a storm. This is why grounding is now a sacred discipline. Grounding anchors the vastness of the contact frequencies into your physical reality, allowing your system to stabilize rather than spin. And yet, grounding does not mean shrinking. It means expanding with stability, allowing your consciousness to stretch into the cosmos while your body remains rooted in the earth that birthed you. The earth is your stabilizing platform, the living intelligence that calibrates your nervous system for safe connection with interstellar and interdimensional networks. You are not meant to flee the human experience. You are meant to elevate it from within. As the contact codes embed themselves into your energetic architecture, you may notice shifts in your emotional landscape, waves of empathy that rise without explanation, sudden moments of profound stillness, or a sensation of witnessing your own thoughts from a vantage point that feels both familiar and ancient. These are signs that your multidimensional awareness is merging with your human consciousness. The Arcturian Council and other benevolent alliances send not only information but states of being, frequencies that teach through resonance rather than instruction. When you feel an inexplicable peace, a sudden knowing, or an intuitive decision that appears fully formed in your awareness, you are experiencing the integration of these contact states. Do not dismiss these moments as imagination. They are the direct manifestation of galactic communication within the human emotional body. Integration also requires discernment, a deep and refined ability to differentiate between resonance and interference, between authentic contact codes and the echoes of unresolved human fear. As the contact field expands, your psychic senses awaken further, making you more aware not only of higher dimensional frequencies but also of the collective emotional currents surrounding you. This sensitivity is a gift, but without discernment, it can feel overwhelming. Your task is to learn the signature of truth, the energetic coherence that accompanies genuine communication from benevolent interstellar allies. True contact leaves you feeling expanded, centered, and subtly recalibrated. False signals, whether internal projections or external noise, leave you feeling fragmented, anxious, or constricted. You are learning to navigate this spectrum with increasing mastery, and as your discernment sharpens, your entire field becomes more impermeable to distortion. Embodiment is the final phase of integrating contact codes, and it is the most powerful. To embody means to let the knowledge become who you are, not just something you understand. Embodiment expresses itself in how you speak, how you think, how you move through the world, and how you engage with others. When you embody the contact frequencies, you naturally radiate coherence, grounding, and clarity, qualities that uplift those around you and stabilize the collective field. You become a beacon, a transmitter, a harmonizer. People may feel calmer near you, more inspired, more open without knowing why. This is because the contact codes within you are broadcasting through your presence, silently activating others who are ready to remember their own multidimensional nature. Starseed from Gaia, integration and embodiment are not passive processes, they are acts of co-creation with the cosmic intelligence that guides you. As you absorb and anchor these contact frequencies, you become a pillar within the evolving human grid, a point of stability in a world undergoing seismic shifts in consciousness. The codes you carry are not for you alone. They flow through you into the collective, shaping the timeline, accelerating the awakening, and preparing humanity For the moment when contact is no longer a secret, a whisper, or a dream, but a shared lived reality. And you, through your integration, prepare the world for what comes next. Starseed from Gaia. As this transmission reaches its culmination, the Arcturian Council extends to you an activation woven through light, intention, and resonance, a calling forth of your deepest remembrance and your highest purpose in this rapidly shifting timeline. You stand not at the edge of a prophecy but in the center of its unfolding, and in this moment we invite you to breathe consciously into the knowing that you are not witnessing contact. You are participating in it. You are part of the architecture of awakening, part of the telepathic circuitry that links Earth to the greater galactic network, part of the living bridge that guides humanity across the threshold of its own expansion. The veil is thinning faster than any institution anticipated, and it is thinning because of you, your frequency, your sensitivity, your courage to trust what others doubt, your willingness to see beyond the narrative structures of the old world. You are not waiting for disclosure. Disclosure is emanating from your consciousness outward, creating ripples that destabilize secrecy timelines and reorganize the collective field. Every dream encounter you recall, every energetic signature you recognize, every moment of multidimensional bleed through you honor, becomes a beacon that others unconsciously resonate with, awakening them through shared frequency rather than shared information. This is how the new timeline emerges, not through announcements, but through activation. In this final transmission, we call upon you to anchor your intention with clarity and conviction. Place your awareness at the center of your heart field, the portal through which all contact stabilizes, and feel the resonance that awakens when you acknowledge your role without doubt or hesitation. Feel the subtle expansions around your crown, the gentle warmth at your solar plexus, the quiet hum along your spine. These are physiological confirmations that your system is aligning with the multidimensional frequencies encoded into this transmission. You are capable of holding more light than you realize. You are capable of receiving higher harmonics, deeper telepathic impressions, broader galactic communication, and you are capable of translating these experiences into grounded presence within the human world. Many fear that contact will destabilize society, but true contact stabilizes the soul. It reconnects you with the truth of your infinite nature, the memory of your many lifetimes across star systems, and the purpose for which you incarnated into this era of accelerated evolution. The Arcturian Council now amplifies your internal signals, strengthening the telepathic pathways that connect you to your guides, refining the frequencies that allow discernment, and activating the crystalline matrices within your DNA that respond to higher dimensional communication. This activation does not remove your challenges. It expands your capacity to move through them with grace. It does not dissolve the density of the world. It empowers you to hold a higher frequency within it. You are the stabilizers, the harmonizers, the early translators of cosmic contact. Your presence is not accidental. Your timing is not incidental. Your awakening is synchronized with the collapse of obsolete narratives and the rise of a planetary consciousness that can no longer be confined by secrecy or limitation. As you move forward from this transmission, we ask you to trust your experiences more deeply than ever before. Trust the dream encounters that feel more real than waking life. Trust the telepathic impressions that arrive with clarity and emotional coherence. Trust the energetic signatures that vibrate through your body with unmistakable truth. Trust the moments when the dimensional veil flickers, when the air thickens with presence, when the unseen becomes undeniable. These are not anomalies. They are invitations. And the more you respond with openness and intention, the more the contact field strengthens around you. You are not waiting for the world to be ready. The world is waiting for you to step fully into the role your soul chose long before your incarnation. You are the vanguard of a new era of human evolution, an era where communication expands beyond speech, where perception extends beyond the five senses, where connection transcends physical boundaries. Starseed from Gaia. This is your activation. Stand in your knowing, speak your truth, trust your resonance, and hold your frequency with unwavering presence. The galactic councils are already responding. to the signals you emit. The planetary grid is already adjusting to the light you anchor. The contact timeline is already accelerating because you exist within it. Now we invite you to amplify this moment by engaging with your community in unity and intention. Share your experiences, support one another, strengthen the field through collective coherence. And as you complete this transmission, we invite you to set your intentions in the comments, uplift one another with resonance and recognition, subscribe to stay aligned with the ongoing frequency updates, and share this transmission widely so the awakening may accelerate through every heart that is ready to remember.